Life has been quite the whirlwind. I started this new little endeavor helping out my family with Lulux. It's our luxury transportation service. It's the Sprinter van. Going to all those special events. You have Keeneland and you have Kentucky Derby in Kentucky, for instance, or Bourbon Trails or some special event or festival, getaway. I don't know, bachelorette party. It's pretty cool to be able to rent a really cool driver and even a driver. And so we're putting in the hospitality, all of the really awesome things that I've implemented in the past as far as white glove service and experiences. We're doing all that with Lulux. It's Louisville, Lux, Luxury, Lulux, ridelulux.com. It's a new little endeavor. It's been keeping me really busy. I've got a really, really busy week this week. So if prayer is what you turn to, mortals, then please lift me up in thought. Prayer, good vibes, whatever it is. But as always, this is the perfect segue. This is The Mortals. This is a show which pulls back the curtain, takes down the walls brick by brick, and exposes the hearts of those caring for those. And I care about you, and I show up for you, and I meet you where you are, whether you pray or not, whether you have much or little. I don't give a shit. All I give a shit about is you. I'm grateful for you. And I hope that this season is one that's bringing you just a little bit of extra joy, because you can't deny the fact that there's something different in the air right now. And something in the air right now for me is very, very different. And if you've been putting pieces of the puzzle together for quite some time now, it's been a long fucking time. And hopefully the time has come to an end very soon. And by very soon, I mean the 18th. By the 18th, I mean this week. So I'll keep you in the loop as best as I can, because I'm making these muffins as best as I can. This is The Mortals. This is episode 217. 217 episodes. That's a lot. And if my calculations are correct, let's do some math here. Let's just say that each episode, 217, let's just say that for simple math, they're 30 minutes apiece, because sometimes they're over an hour, sometimes they're 50 minutes. I think that 30 minutes is a safe bet. 217 times 30. That's 6,510 minutes. So let's divide that by 60. That's 108.5 hours. Let's divide that by 24, because there's 24 hours in a day. That means you would have to listen to 4.5 days straight worth of Mortals episodes to be caught up. And speaking of being caught up, maybe you're new here. This is a show which has evolved quite a bit. It's been about being better versions of self always, because it is true that we got to show up, because it's the mundane that is where we encourage and uplift people, because we don't feel like we do sometimes. I fucking get it. Trust me. But this has always been and will always remain The Mortals. And we're going to take a deep dive right now. Whoosh! That was the sound of water splash. Minute More is streaming now. Obviously, check it out wherever you stream. I have a new single that is coming out. I think I'm going to pick that one. Mortals, You Know Best. Speaking of, there is a Mortals group. It's an exclusive community, exclusive releases, first looks, first listens, live there. Mortals, link it right now in the description and show notes. Become a Mortal, have access to giveaways, weekly giveaways. Kevin was the first to join on a Friday, and then every Friday's the giveaway, and he won. That's the first. He's the inaugural Friday joiner and winner. Yeah, absolutely. Head on over there right now and join the Mortals for exclusive. Exclusive! Let's see how many times I can say it. Joe, keep a count. Recently celebrated Navy's birthday, and before that was Bear's birthday. The other day we went to the park, and it was really fun because took them out of school early, and so we're running around. The wind's blowing. It wasn't raining, but it was kind of a windy day. Not too cold, but on the river in Owensboro, Kentucky is the riverfront. It's always colder on the river. There's winds a whipping. We're running all over the place. We had the whole place to ourselves. It was so fun. They're very funny, and it was amazing because you just never realize how much energy little humans have. But it's like endless. It's boundless. Let's eat terrible food. We didn't do that, but I just am thinking of kids in general. They're just machines. We were so resilient as little children. let's just break stuff and run. That's what's been going on with me. And I have, I think, officially gotten out of TikTok jail. I'm not sure. If you follow me at Nathan Morris Music there, for a while, I was in this purgatory or jail. It happens to every creator over time. I think it's the way the algorithm works. It's almost like it's weeding people out. Really, because they want the platform. They just announced that they want, which I really like. They want the platform to remain or become more positive and encouraging and educational. So its content is being favored. That is that content. That's the content that they're turning to, which I love. Obviously, January 19th is the date in the United States where they're saying that TikTok is going to be banned. What does that mean? What I've heard is now you just can't get it in the App Store. So Google Play Store or obviously the Apple App Store, you're not going to be able to get it. Well, okay. You're still going to be able to use the app, though. You're just not going to have those updates for the application be pushed to your phone. I don't know what that will cause, but nonetheless, it's not going to be this like destitute land. And I'm still going to be showing up there, but also Nathan Morris Music on YouTube, specifically. A lot of shorts live there, and Nathan Morris on Instagram. Follow me on all the socials because I have been training my AI clone. That is insane to say. That is insane. I really want to be able to connect with you. And by the way, your comments mean so much to me. People have been sharing a lot more really interesting stories, and I'm going to talk about some of those later in the episode. I read them. I see you. I try to anyway. But the clone on Instagram at Nathan Morris is insane. You should check it out. I was working with some of my friends, the mortals, you mortals, and we were talking to this. I'm trying to train it. So answer the questions in the back end like, hey, here's a common question I get. Here's an answer I want you to give. And then it's constantly refining that, and I can go in anytime. It's insane. So check it out. Maybe talk to me, talk to it. I found where to see where those conversations are because I was just telling the mortals, again, you should join. Link is in the show notes and description. I don't know where to find it, which was really scary to think about because no telling what, a rogue AI would be able to say. It's like, Nathan told me to go fuck it. No, I didn't. That wasn't me. But it does say AI Nathan Morris. So you're being spoken to by Nathan Morris, the AI, and it shows you that. So I guess you could say Nathan said it, or I could just change my name to AI again and be like, I didn't say that, but totally just demolish you. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. In my head, I might, but not literally. It's 3 random facts time. That's what we're doing right this second. This is one of my favorite parts of the Immortals. I love it. I love random information. Did you know? Well, allegedly, Albert Einstein did not ever learn how to get to and from church. Like they would walk to church on church days, and he had a neighbor come and pick him up and would walk together and walk back because he said, I have a limited amount of space in here and I don't want it taken up. If you're not knowing what I'm doing, I'm pointing to my head, which you could watch and listen to all the episodes at Nathan Morris Music on YouTube. I don't want to fill my brain with useless knowledge. And he thought getting to and from church and the way to get there was useless. Did you know that there's this is very interesting. I got stopped. This is creepy. There's this phenomenon called phantom traffic jams where no apparent cause, like an accident or construction, ever creates the traffic jam. Scientists say it's due to minor fluctuations in driver behavior, which is kind of spooky because it makes you wonder if there's something else influencing the cars or someone. Which really, think about that. Have you driven? I have. I was just driving from Owensboro to Louisville, and there was this major slowing down, and you're like, what is going on? And then you get to where this jam was. There was nothing. There wasn't construction. There wasn't cones or barrels. I hate those damn things. It wasn't law enforcement. There wasn't a hidden law enforcement officer. Everybody brake checking because they don't want to, get a ticket. Which also, by the way, little fun fact, Waze is pretty awesome. It really is. They're pretty solid. Yeah, they are. But be a good neighbor. If it says still there and it's talking about a police officer and they're not, press no, because then it updates the app. But if you're near a larger vehicle You're going real fast. There's somebody up yonder, law enforcement officer. Their radar is going to pick up the larger vehicle if you can brake check yourself quick enough. Just letting you know that. I don't know if I articulated that properly. I feel like I'm saying that every episode now. It's like I have to apologize. I'm like, I don't know if I told that story correctly. I can say what I want. This is myspace.com. Hey, fun fact, random fact, number dos. The world's oldest wooden wheel is over 5,000 years old and was discovered in Slovenia. Imagine that. Could you imagine like the wheel, like what it could tell? The roads that it's seen, where we're going, we don't need roads. Name that movie. But that's pretty wild to think about. 5,000-year-old wood wheel. And also, I'm into this. I love history. I mean, I always have, but those shows where they are digging things up and anything that has to do with fixing something. Like I just finished watching, they rebuilt and renovated the cathedral in Notre Dame in 5 years. And the undertaking for that was absolutely astounding. And just the structure and how meticulous it was from when it was first built and how they went back to that system too. You should watch it. I did. I love that stuff. Or the Millennial Monument Cleaner. Oh my gosh. How when a monument breaks and falls over because of weak foundations. Interesting. There's an analogy between that and us as people. Yeah. But how the dirt will slowly build over top of that monument that broke off, and then the old limestone stones and how it sugars. That's where it becomes just so brittle and turns almost to powder or sugar. And just watching how he fixes things. I love seeing something that was come back as was and better, which I think we want that for more so strangers than ourselves, which is weird. Yeah, it's like, or strangers than people we know, I guess is what I mean by that. Or maybe that doesn't make sense to you, but it did to me. And the third random fact for you, for me, is a personal one. I love watching leaf blowing videos. Now, I've talked about the lawn mowing videos, yes, but leaf blowing is a totally different thing. It's the most mindless thing, and I don't know what it is about that. There's something therapeutic. I really believe the human spirit is seeing progress just brings us immense satisfaction. And that's why I love to mow. It's like this, what I was calling mindless, but it's not so mindless because you got to know how to operate the machine and be able to walk in a straight line and know how to mow. And when you previously mowed so the grass doesn't keep laying the same way all the time, and the stripes, they really matter. But I believe the human spirit longs for seeing progress. And so you see a mess that is leaves, and they hold moisture, and they freeze. Did you know that? And they can choke up the goat, the Billy Goat. It's a company. It's fine. Just don't judge me. But I think we love progress, and we love to watch that. And it's very fulfilling for us. And watching leaf blowing videos is really fun for me. And if you are watching this on YouTube, be sure to subscribe and click the bell to be notified. And be sure, if you feel so inclined, to stop what you're doing and leave a positive review on whichever listening device. Those are your free random facts. Those are your free random facts. 3 random facts brought to you by yours truly. That's me. Before we dive into spooky stories segment, TikTok has this feature called the Creator Insight. Creator Insights, I think is what it is. Anyway, whenever I was in TikTok purgatory, obviously if you keep going back to there, it's telling you as the creator what your followers are searching, where there's a thing called content gaps. Maybe you've seen these videos on the platform. Content gap is people are searching, because TikTok is a search engine as well. They're searching for content, information, how to learn things, how to be educated, just waste some time. And so they're suggesting these videos. And the latest video that I just posted was, of the recording of this episode, was removing toxic people from your life. And I want to tell that story because it really came up when I read the subject. I was like, I'm going to talk about that. I was in the driveway, my driveway, and there were two individuals standing in the driveway, and they were telling me about how no one likes me, no one respects me, no one likes any of the videos that I'm putting out. They think I'm stupid. And they were saying that all under the guise of, weirdly enough, they were saying that without saying that, but all under the guise of, we love you and we only want what is best for you. And I remember I was standing at this point, but I had squat down, and I'm like squatting. I'm not on my knees on the concrete, but I'm squatting, kind of like a catcher for baseball. And I'm deflated in a way that I had never been, because I was creating content that I believed in and I was excited about and that I thought was encouraging and uplifting, and I was having fun. And God forbid, because I wasn't marching in the line that they had drawn for me, or because I was stepping beyond the ceiling that they had prepared for me in themselves, I was stupid and being dumb. And that is when I realized those are toxic people, because they live this life of this line, this ceiling. And toxic people don't have to necessarily be bad people. What makes toxic people toxic for you is if they limit you, if they have limiting beliefs of you, for you, and you believe them to be, and they prevent you from being your best version of self. Yes, toxic people can be bad people, and arguably whatever in regards to that. But the toxicity was because of the story that they were trying to write for me and tell me that I needed to write for myself, if that makes sense. And the moment I cut that, the moment that I finally sat with the things that I needed to sit with, the things that I needed to acknowledge as my own, the things that I needed to apologize for or apologize to myself for, the rights that I needed to, the wrongs that were needed to be made right. I owned and own that. So I want you, if there's any body, or if there has been any version of, you sure have changed, you do things differently, you don't sound like I used to remember you sounding, you don't, then hell yeah. If that is something that you've heard, and the things that you feel that you are doing are blessing people because they're catching you on fire in the best way, right? You are excited and you are encouraged by. Don't listen to that. That's toxic. That really is not good for you, because if it's bringing you joy because you feel that what you are doing is bringing others joy, why would that be a bad thing? That just means that it just doesn't align with people anymore, and that's okay. And you need to remove it, because that's when you're really, really living. And I really mean that. Just cut that cord. It's very important to. And then you can look back on it and realize, I'm so glad I stepped out of that driveway, because it was very hard to do, because I don't ever want to be that again in that moment, feel that feeling. And have I changed? Whenever people say that, hell yeah, you don't recognize me? Awesome. I'm glad you don't recognize me. That's great. That's amazing. Alex Hormozy, he posted a video the other day. He doesn't go home during the holidays, and the holidays are coming up. He said, I don't go home during the holidays, and I haven't for 4 years, because the last time I did, I go home and these people are remembering the short-fused Alex Hormozy, the guy who would get angry about stupid shit. And he goes, I was like that. And those people I knew for 3, 5, 7 years, and I'm only home for 3 days and have to listen to that shit? I don't want to feel the need to waste any energy to get someone to change their belief or their perspective, perception of me, because I would have to spend 3, 5, 7 years doing so. And I don't want to waste that. I don't want to waste that time. He says, fuck it. So he and his wife, they have their small group of people that know him now, because I'm glad, he says, that I am not that guy. And I'm glad who I am now. And I don't have any explanation to give to anybody. So I felt the need to share that with you. Cut the toxic out of your life. And just because that's toxic, I do want to point out that it doesn't mean that those people who bring the toxicity are bad people. toxic people can be bad people. I think I made my point there. I beat a dead horse. Make like a tree and get the fuck out. It's so stupid. I'm done. Okay, we're going to have a spooky story time, and we're going to the haunted Driscoll Hotel. All right, it's time to... Well, I can't dim the lights because then you won't be able to see me. We're going to settle in for this little spooky episode of... It's not an episode. This is just the story. Sorry. We're going to Austin, Texas. Joe, put on the soup. We're going to uncover the Driscoll Hotel. Built in 1886 by a cattle baron named Jesse Driscoll. Jesse? The Driscoll Hotel was intended to be a symbol of opulence and luxury. It was. It was built, had marble floors, ornate decor, and grandiose. It was insane in its structure with beautiful chandeliers. They made it the crown jewel of Austin. But from the beginning, the hotel seemed destined to harbor tragedy. Jesse himself lost the hotel in a poker game just 2 years after it opened. Some say his spirit never actually even has left the building. Who in their right mind? I mean, you could be so good at counting cards or playing. You could be so good, but why would you ever bet the farm on it? Don't do it. I mean, I'm a good risk taker. When I say good, I mean like I love a good risk taking. I'm not saying I'm like really good at it. I'm really good at almost. Let's talk about the hauntings. The most famous ghost is that of this little girl, always a little girl. In 1887, the daughter of a U.S. senator tragically fell to her death while chasing a ball down the grand staircase. Guests and staff have reported hearing the sound of laughter and small footsteps echoing through the halls, only to find no one is actually there. Then, room 525. Legend has it that 2 brides, decades apart, took their own lives in this very room on their wedding night. Guests who've stayed in room 525 have reported sudden chills, flickering lights, and even a sense of overwhelming sadness. Have we talked about this before? Which is weird. Why do I always feel that? That's very odd to me. It actually really... I can't articulate it or explain, I don't think. My brain's always like, well, we've talked about this. And then a few episodes ago, I was talking about how they always have similar things that happen. I feel like I'm living in Groundhog Day. I don't know. But I'm going to keep going. There's no way we talked about this. But maybe we did. I don't know. Okay. There's the ghost, obviously, of Jesse. Jesse! His cigar smoke is said to linger in the air, and some guests have claimed to see a man in a cowboy hat wandering the lobby, only to vanish when approached. So the current state is that it's... Here we go. You ready? One of the most haunted hotels in America. You get it. Yep. It's one of the most haunted places. Modern guests, so today, they share stories of unexplained whispers, objects moving, and even phantom touches in the middle of the night. A few have tried to document the paranormal activity, but the spirits of the Driscolls seem to prefer their mysteries remain unsolved, so there's not a ton of corroborated. But we love the unknown, and if we don't know, then we just insert our own reasoning or storyline. I don't know about you. Would you stay there? Let me know. And if you're listening on Spotify, you can most certainly comment and let me know your thoughts. Be sure to follow this podcast, too. I would really, really appreciate it. We've covered a lot, for sure, today. 217 has been all over the place. But what Mortals episode would not be complete without just a random... So the Mortals podcast needs to be the baby leash. Like it is the backpack, right? You put that little... You ever see those little kids walking around Disney and they have the backpack on? It has the leash to the parent and the parent's holding it. That's really funny to me. It's like really hilarious to see it. And I think that there's a lot of similarities between the little sweet little Asian baby wandering around Walt Disney World and the Mortals podcast. You just kind of reel me back in, right? No? Okay. In closing, I am going to begin linking. If you wish to support this show and the efforts of, we're going to be linking in the descriptions of Venmo and Nathan Morris Music. It goes to a number of things right now. We're hoping to get 100 kids covered for Christmas, but we're also wanting to keep the lights on. And your support, I mean, streaming the music is amazing and sharing it is awesome, but you get paid 0.0003 cents. That's not a lot, which is, it's fine. And I'm grateful for that. But you help keep the lights on. You can most certainly send a Venmo donation to Nathan Morris Music. I'm going to link that, and your monies and hard-earned will go to supporting what it is that we're doing and creating, and obviously supporting by joining the Mortals exclusive community. First looks, first listens always helps as well. We've got the holidays about to arrive, and maybe, just maybe, this holiday and many before, or maybe this is the first, where there's a chair that's empty. There is a noticeable missing piece and someone that you love and that you forever celebrate. And grief is this beautiful little dancing partner that it was told to me. And 1 minute, everything is going great and fluid, and you're dancing and you are in just perfect sync. And then the next thing you know, you stumble, you trip, you step on some toes, and you find yourself uneasy, uncomfortable, and in a moment of sadness. And that's okay. It's okay. There is no timeline. There is no perfect means of quote unquote getting over. You don't get over anything. The object is the way, meaning the resistance, the grief, the uncertainty. That is literally the way. You can sweep as much dirt, shit, grit under a rug, but sooner or later, that pile will be so tall, the rug has a bump, and you trip, and you get hurt. Then you hurt others along the way. I mean it. Face it. It's okay. Experience it. It's not promised to be easy, this life, but it is absolutely fact that there is victory in suffering. And the moment you come out the other side and you are able to acknowledge and reflect upon what you've been through is the moment that you're able to grow, level up, be more kind, be more inclusive, be more inspired. Like, yeah, that's really, really living for sure. I get all kinds of comments and notes and letters and words of encouragement. And this is one that I want to share. And I want to share it because of how perfect its timing was. Perfect. I had announced the Friday giveaway for the Mortals last week, and I went live to do that. It was actually just a spur of the moment. I was like, I'm going to be live at 9:00, and on TikTok is what I was going to go live. And then I was sitting. Nighttimes are really hard for me, and that's all I'll say right now. But they tend to be a lot harder for me. And I was just justifying how I'm not going to go live. I'm not going to do it. And I'd already told you all that I was, because I don't like to not do something when I say I'm going to. So then there's that battle going on. So 9:00 Eastern comes. I'm like, oh, okay, well, 9:00 Central, which was 10:00 Eastern. And it was at 9:18. So I had justified 9:00 Central or 9:00 Eastern, and it was going to be 10:00 Eastern. So I'm like, I don't even want to do it. Okay. I don't have anything interesting scheduled. I don't throw ping pong balls into pots and pans and have them bounce into a solo cup. And by the way, trick shots is super fun to watch. And that's what I've been doing. And so I've been struggling as I long-winded the shit out of this story. I don't know why. It's like you get through one thing, you fix one thing, and then you're on to fixing something else. It's like nothing can ever be working properly together at the same time. You know what I'm talking about, right? It's like everything's like great for just No. It's like, you got to fucking work on this of yourself or that of yourself. Anyway, I get this email and I want to read it. And for the sake of anonymity and privacy, I am going to maybe pause from time to time if I need to censor anything. But it sure is amazing how just when you need something. It's been 1,000,000 years since we've connected. I'm not really sure what to say. I don't think you ever knew much of me. You may have no idea. You may have no desire to know me. I do fear your rejection. Afraid you'll make fun of like the rest. We were in the same math class. You sat in front, didn't sit still for long periods of time, and got chastised by the teacher for talking and singing in class. In school, I didn't have friends. I got picked on, made fun of, but found my tribe. I always kept my friends close and few. While others hated me for reasons unbeknownst to me, made fun of me, and said awful things to make others dislike me too. But when I spoke to you, you acknowledged me and were kind. Thanks for being kind and for not being a prick. I was sad to see you go to another school, but was incredibly proud of you and the new opportunities you had with music. When your song debuted in Starbucks, I couldn't do much at the time, but I did buy CDs and I put them in bags and passed them out at the local Starbucks in my city. I couldn't do much, but I did try. I still follow you on socials and enjoy watching the journey, your journey. I'm still so fucking proud of you. I've been catching up on the podcasts here and there, joined the socials, and have been commenting. Still doing what little role I can to help see you win. I want you to know how much I hurt along with you. I see and feel your pain. Someday, I'd love to have the chance to sit and connect with you again, to talk, to listen, to be a friend. I had a hard day today. On the drive home, I blasted your songs and I sobbed. Funny how at one moment I said, I need you. Around the same time I was having a sob fest and hoping we could connect was the same time you had a Wild Hair to Go live. It may not be much, but I thought it was pretty cool. Hey Nathan, you never know who needs you or when. Keep showing up because you matter. I'm so thankful for your constant reminder of these very words, for the love and kindness you share, for reminding us to keep showing up, even when we really don't want to or feel like we can't. Love really does win. Your friend. You matter. You are worth it. And even when you feel like you can't scrape your ass out of your bed, count down from 5 like Mel Robbins says. And when you hit 0, get your ass up and show up, because I need you and they need you and the world needs you. And just when you think that you don't feel that you are, at 9:18, you get that. And then you go live for 3 hours and have a really good time with your friends, followers, and supporters. I am grateful for your encouraging words. I am grateful for these letters and these stories, and I hope they bless you like they bless me. This is 217. This is The Mortals. This is a show which continues to pull back the curtain, and I really am grateful for you, and I love hearing from you, and I still want to be your wingman. If love hasn't found you yet, in the sense of your forever partner, because you are deserving of it and you are worthy to be. Don't lower the bar. A Minute More is about that. Love is not a pie in the sky. I want to be your wingman. Tell me your stories. If you have a misconnection, we'll maybe make sure that you hit a home run on the next one. You better invite me to your fucking wedding too. I'm going to go blow my nose.